Goes to Congress supporter Tehseen Poonawalla. And Tehseen Poonawalla, now we are not into political rhetoric. We are not into stalling parliament. We're talking in parliament and we're teaching martial arts. Jiu-jitsu, of all things. Choke and tap. Is that the new strategy for Rahul Gandhi? And if choke and tap was what he wanted, why waste 11 days? And to make unsubstantiated charge, as he's fond of doing, how far is he going to go and where is it going to stop? Can you share that blueprint with the nation tonight?
Thank you, Navika ji, for having me on the show. At the onset, it was extremely surprising, disappointing, but not unexpected to see the Treasury benches hoot and prevent the honorable leader of opposition after 25 minutes from making his points, every time trying to break his flow, because he had actually got them on the choke on 3 or 4 issues which were pertinent to our finance bill as well as to our trade deal with United States, the interim trade deal that is to be signed. For example, Navika ji, is it not a fact that Bangladesh has got 0% tariff when it comes to textiles if they import cotton from United States? India is also going to be importing cotton, but we will have 18% tariff. Where is the honorable leader of opposition faking it on it? Is it not a fact that in the tax holiday to the data centers, the free-flowing data protection laws that should apply in India will not be applying. Therefore, America will have access to Indian data, 1.4 billion Indians. And with the kind of technology America has, ma'am, they will know exactly what you're doing, your family is doing. Is it not something that we should be talking about and discussing in Parliament? Finally, ma'am, I will not go too much into details. When we asked the Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal ji on the trade deal on oil, he says speak to Jaishankar ji. Jaishankar ji says speak to Hardeep Puri ji. Hardeep Puri ji says speak to Piyush Goyal ji. Instead of this merry-go-round, can we not have the most honorable Prime Minister come to Parliament and address us as a nation and tell us what is this trade deal about? But ma'am, since you spoke about unauthentic data, was it okay, ma'am, when personal books about Indira ji and personal insinuations were made by Nishikant Dubey ji? Are you, ma'am, okay with that? What was that authenticated? Ma'am, what was authenticated when on Bofors or radio station spoke something about it, the BJP stalled Parliament, or on draft reports of CAG on 2G, draft reports not yet submitted, they stalled Parliament? Today you're asking the honorable leader of opposition to authenticate his claims. He is authenticating his claims. There is an industrialist, a serial offender who is in trouble, who should be facing investigation in India, and his name has come up in the Epstein files for arranging tall Swedish blonde women for the Israeli Prime Minister, former.
Tehseen Poonawalla, it is for industrialists to answer the charges against them, but it is under this government that that particular industrialist is facing investigations. The CBI and Enforcement Directorate are regularly visiting him. Be my guest, accompany the team so that you get to know more about it, than you do right now, than we do right now. So you know, the fact that investigations are happening is something you know, but if you pretend that, to show that you don't know anything about it, all I can say is, well, choke, tap, do whatever you will, because you have a new strategy every other day. But Sidharth Yadav, 11 days wasted, and ultimately Rahul Gandhi speaks, whatever he speaks, whatever charges he makes. My question is, why did the Treasury benches also play along and waste these 11 days? This could have been agreed to be done on day one itself.
Navika ji, good evening, and good evening to all your viewers. The Parliament of our country is a place where the highest standards of democracy have to be represented. It's a symbol where debate, discourse, discussions have to be done, and higher standards of professional conduct have to be displayed. But unfortunately, the conduct, the language, the style of the leader of opposition has brought down the entire standard of our parliament. Now, this is nothing new for the Congress party. If wherever Rahul Gandhi would go, be it his personal ventures in British companies where he worked, all those also were shut down. be it the Congress party's leadership, now Congress party is down in shambles, or be it the role of LOP, the parliament also has to face the brunt. The reality is the parliament is not a place for theatrics. Be it the LOP or be it anybody else, if someone says something, they have to substantiate, they have to give evidence, they have to give to the floor whatever documents they are quoting. Now from day one, we are seeing this ball hut from the leader of opposition, where he comes out and says that I am adamant, I will say anything, I will quote anything, I'll quote unpublished work, I will say any fact, I will just do it because I think I come from the first family of this house, of this country. Now this is the shoot and scoot policy of Rahul Gandhi. This is that policy of Rahul Gandhi which comes from a very elitist mindset. This is not acceptable in our democracy. Now Rahul Gandhi or the Congress spokespersons will teach us about favoring industrialists or favoring foreign companies. The party which stood with Union Carbide, which stood with Bofors, which was defending Augusta Westland and whatnot, would now come and teach the country of how pressure is there and what is the relationship. The party wherein Sonia Gandhi had to tell a finance minister, Natwar Singh, which is quoted by the way by himself in his book, that we can't keep you as the finance minister because there's too much pressure from US, now is teaching the country of what US pressure is and what has to be done with. I think in partisan democracy, you can allege anything on the government. But if an official stance come out, then you have to stand with the country. Now the stand of the government is the stand of the country. If we say that there is nothing that is against the interests of the farmers, if it has come out, how can you make such claims if you can't substantiate them? How can you make such claims if you don't have any proofs for that? But Rahul Gandhi thinks that I can just shoot and scoot, I can spit and run, I will come out, I will say any lie, I will poison venom, and I will just run away to my foreign country wherever my next trip is planned. This is not the standard of democracy in 2026. This should not be the standard of democracy in 2026, and this has to be called out. If Rahul Gandhi,
you're calling it out, and the nation